Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by Shark Industries, a weld above the rest. Resin Works, made in America, installed locally. Dorman Products, driving new solutions. And by Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever.
Well, it's time for the tech tip. You know, Dorman, they redesign parts to last longer, and I have a perfect example for you. Now, there's some vehicles that have vacuum actuated parts, you know, parts like an EGR, cruise control, and we'll talk about the Dorman four-wheel drive actuator here in a minute. But I want to talk about vacuum actuated parts and a tech tip with vacuum leaks. That could be a big problem. You may have an EGR that's vacuum actuated. I can actually show it to you here in action. If I put this on here and I apply vacuum to it, watch this pintle right here. What's supposed to happen is exactly that. The pintle actually opens, and when the pintle opens, your exhaust gas recirculation, that's EGR, goes back into the motor, and it should run rough and idle. It shouldn't be a good thing. So what happens is you have an actual cruise control actuator as well. Now, this cruise control actuator is from the factory. It's been used, and it doesn't work. What do you mean? Well, if I put the vacuum hose to it right here, and I apply vacuum, you can see nothing's happening. I'm taking the vacuum out. It should pull it in and in turn apply the throttle so you have cruise control. Now that could be a vacuum leak. That's a problem. Vacuum leaks are lean conditions. Lean conditions burn engines, do catastrophic damage. Lean conditions are a bad thing, so you want to make sure you don't have any vacuum leaks. Now when it comes to the four-wheel drive, Dorman's got you covered. Here's a four-wheel drive actuator. Now this is really cool because this eliminates a lot of common failures that are due to exposed to the ozone and everything. It starts to get worn out after a while. This one's actually reinforced with 3 times greater with a mesh layer inside of here, so it's going to last long, and it seamlessly fits into the place where it's supposed to go. And I'll show you how it works. If I actually take this adapter here, I'm going to step it down. This is just my hose. It doesn't come with it. You don't need it. Your hose would plug right into it directly, and then watch this. Now when I apply the vacuum to this one, you see it pull in. Now that's great, but the key is I could stop the vacuum and it could sit here for 6 months, a year, and it's going to pull and it's going to hold engaged. You're not going to have a problem with the Dorman OE solutions. Now they even took it one step further. We're always about making the whole problem a solution for the whole problem. Well, how many of you have taken out one of these little screws down there, dropped it, and that's the end of that, lost forever? Well, the actuator comes with the mounting screws, direct fit replacement, no issues when it comes with Dormans. They design them to last longer and prevent future failures. I'm John Gardner. See ya.
You know, the name Roadrunner has been synonymous with performance for decades, as seen in this 1972 Plymouth. Well, guess what? Roadrunner is still where you want to go for high performance products. Roadrunner Performance. I know you guys are known for your hoses and connectors, so I want to talk about the hoses that you make. How do they stand out from the competition that's out there?
One of the biggest things that we do, Dave, is we send everything out for testing along with internal testing. This is kind of evident right here. We took a put together hose, 9,800 PSI burst. We came out with a crimp style, which is 10,000 burst on the hose, your max rating. That's all it should ever take. The connectors are still intact.
We just had a couple racers in here looking at these, and they were blown away by these quick connectors.
Well, one of the cool things about the quick connects is we made them very universal. So your bodies will always flow an 8, even though you put a 6 on the end or an 8 on the end, it doesn't matter. So it made them very universal. Another thing that we were able to do when we did this was that we made them female or male. So you're not buying 20 fittings to create the same job.
To create 10 connections.
Correct.
Now you have a smaller one here, which is for brake lines, is that correct?
Yeah, so we made one for brake lines. We have drifters, we have off-road guys that just have these built on a different system. So if they take out a caliper, they take out a spindle, they can just slam a new one on, plug it in and go. There's no bleeding necessary.
And you have some filters here we should talk about.
Yeah, we keep a variety of filters. These are for more your carbureted ones and things like that, which have different colors. And then we also have fuel injection, which we carry in 2 different colors. One's a high pressure and one's a lower pressure. One of the neat things that we did is we made a connection here. Instead of having the old school plastic type, this actually threads in and it's bored down for a 2 O-ring in style inside it.
Which is huge. If you have the 2 O-rings, with 1 O-ring, this is going to be bouncing all around and everything. With 2 O-rings makes it more stable there.
Correct, and you're able to lock it down with a wrench instead of depending on a plastic fitting.
Very cool. And I know you have some other fittings here as well.
We do a cutting edge fitting right here. We actually turn it one more time just to be different, because black is really big right now, but you want something that'll show off the stainless line. We also have a titanium fitting, which is starting to become really popular. People like having the dual colors.
And I really like these vise jaws here. Magnetic to stick to your vise, and it's not going to score your fittings as well.
Yeah, and that's the whole reason why we made two different styles. We have aluminum and a Bakelite, basically, customer's choice.
Finally, this wrench. I love this.
When you put a fitting in, you can tighten it, you can loosen it, and you'll never damage your fittings. On your off-road trucks, they put these on the trucks and carry them with them because these will never fail you. We have not received one back in 5 years.
Well, we've got hoses, connectors, and tools to make everything easier. Check them out at roadrunnerperformance.com. Thanks for tuning in to this edition of Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. We hope you enjoyed the ride. We're going to do it again next week, so be sure to join us then. In the meantime, if you have a product you want to see on the show, email Jeff at masterstv.com. And while you're online, hop over to our Facebook page and tell us how we're doing. From our entire crew here at our Masters Entertainment Group studios, we will see you next time. So long.